Welcome back to my channel. Today in this video I'll be showing you what you're supposed to do, or there's some configuration you're supposed to do before you promote your server to a domain. When you look on my screen right now, this is the server or Windows Server 2016. I installed it on my Oracle VirtualBox Manager. This is how it looks. I have not yet promoted it to the server, to the domain controller, so I'll be showing you what you're supposed to do or what you're supposed to configure before you promote your server to a domain controller. We'll go here on, when you see on your left hand side, there's a local server. So we'll go here on local server. As you can see, it's giving you the properties of the server. And there are a couple of things you're supposed to do here, you're supposed to configure before you promote your server to a domain. One thing is the computer name. Another thing, if you're going to be using remote desktop, you have to enable remote desktop. Firewall is automatically on. As well, when you look on the Ethernet, at the moment it is assigned IP address using DHCP from the host. But if this is a server, you have to ensure that it is manual assigned IP addresses. And these IP addresses you have to correlate with your internal network so that it will be able to communicate with your local network. Or if the server is going to be a DHCP server, then it will be providing the IP addresses to the end computers. That will be good. But if it's not, then it has to be matching with local network IP addresses. Also, you have to change, or you have to update. You have to check for updates. If there's updates for the server, you have to ensure that your server is up to date with all updates that are required. It could be security, it could be viruses, virus tools or malicious tool for checking for viruses. Now you can see now Windows Defender is on. Feedback and diagnostic settings. So this is part just to give feedback. How do you feel about this server? You can see down here, IE enhanced security configuration is on. Also, you have to change the time zone. If you're from a different time zone, you have to change your server so that it matches the time zone of where you are. Because when you look at the log, event log, so they'll be matching your time so that you correlate the time. But if you leave it on a different time zone, then you be having trouble with your event log. If there's a problem and you want to look at the event logs, then that will be another issue. Okay, let's go and change different configuration. First, we'll enable remote desktop. Okay, you go down here, allow remote connection to this computer. I'll click allow, then I'll click OK, then I'll apply, then OK. So when we reboot our server, it will be enabled. Okay, then I'll go to IP addresses. So this is our Ethernet. I'll right click, I'll go to properties. Okay, then I'll choose Internet Protocol version 4 because that's what I'm gonna use. I'll double click on it and then I'll assign IP addresses manually. Okay, 192.168.2.10. So the 2.10. I've already written down these IPs because that's what I'll be using on my server. This is the IP I'm going to use. This is the default gateway for my server. Okay. Okay, I'll use subnet masks. This is 255.255.255.0. Then this default gateway is 192.168.2.1. That's the default gateway. Then DNS, I'll use the local host, that is 127.0.0 then 1. Okay, then I'll use alternative DNS. I'll put the same IP for the server. Okay, 192.168.2.10. I'm using this DNS because, well, I'm not going to be using this server in production. I'll be just learning. But if you have DNS, your ISP will give you DNS servers that you'll be using. So those are the DNS you'll be using. Don't use this one. These are just for learning purposes. But I know your ISP will be giving you the DNS server that you'll be using so that your server can connect to the outside world. But at this moment I'll be using these DNSs. Okay, click OK. Then you click OK. It's kind of slow, but okay, then you're done there. Okay, so when we reboot, we will see those changes. Okay, we go up here, we change our name. Okay, this is where we change our computer name. So system properties, computer name. At the moment, this is the name, computer name, VN3412 what and what. So we'll go here and change computer name. Then we'll run, we use capital letters, run tech DC1, that is domain controller 1. We'll not change the domain because we are not yet promoted our server to the domain, so we'll leave it on workgroup. I will click OK. It's telling us that you must restart your computer to apply these changes. Alright, we will restart our computer later. We'll click OK, then click close, then we'll choose later. Then you have to check for updates. If there are updates, you ensure that your server is updated on Windows Update. It could be security, it could be for viruses or malicious. I'll click here. Sometimes it will pop up that shows you that your server is up to their updates. You're supposed to install them, but if it doesn't show you, you have to click on download updates only, so that to ensure that your server is updated. As you can see now, it's telling me it is preparing to install updates. It is on 14. So it means there were updates and it's installing those updates at this moment. Okay, I'll minimize that. So again, you have to change the time, but I will not change this time because I'm using this UTC Pacific time. That's what I'm using. But if you're not using UTC, you have to change your time according to your zone. So if you're done, you'll restart your computer so that everything is updated. Now you can see the Ethernet, it is updating our IP 192.168.2.10. then the remote desktop is enabled. The computer name is not yet because we haven't rebooted our computer and stuff like that. So let's restart our computer or our server and see the updates. Okay, we'll restart or reset the shutdown is planned. So we are shutting down our server and then we will restart our server to ensure that what we've configured, it is updated. That is the computer name, the IP address, remote desktop. If you also change the time zone, it will also change. Okay, as you can see, we are restarting our server. Okay, so we go up here, keyboard, then we put in our password. Okay, when we go back to our local server, we will see that our computer name has changed. This is the name we did put in, Runtech Domain Controller 1, as it is generating other stuff. Remote desktop is enabled at the moment, and then the Ethernet IP address as well is configured. We didn't change the time, we did check updates, so we're good because we did install the updates. So those are the basic things you're supposed to do when you're promoting a server or before promoting the server to a domain controller. That's all I wanted to share with you in this video. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video.